like I say, people didn't know about how the rivers were poisoned with cyanide, and people were withholding that information, and the Indians were drinking out of the water. People didn't know about that. People didn't know about shit. People didn't know about my tests that we were doing, knowing that the cyanide was leaching out into the rivers and going into the groundwater table and then getting to the wells. You know, like I say, a lot of people are like, I'm tired of this guy. It's like, what do you know about anything? You actually thought that we were actually alone in the universe. Okay. You didn't know about colony ships that actually landed on Earth, did you? And left. You didn't know about a nuclear cruise ship, did you? That there were 1 or 2 or 4 nuclear cruise ships. So she's like, yes. It's like, no, you didn't. Shut the fuck up. And if you did, it was probably from me. Like, because it wasn't listed anywhere. Nobody mentioned the nuclear cruise ship. JFK probably didn't even know that there was a nuclear cruise ship. There's 4 of them. And how about the nuclear train or the nuclear sea-doo? Do you know about those? Actually, it was like a little boat. But yeah. Like, you read what's in Popular Mechanics and you think you understand. You maybe skim some stuff on some tapboard and you think you understand. You don't. Like that's why Rothschild says, you know, I forget what he said to that stupid paparazzi. It's like, and that's why a lot of rich people have guards. It's like, you know, to get rid of all these annoying people, they're just stupid. Like, okay. Bleh. Like, why don't you say some more, basically, like, stock words? You got a list? Okay, yeah, I'm tired of this guy. Fuck that. Fuck this guy. I don't believe this guy. No one believes this guy. It's like, is there like a list of just stock words you just say? Like, is that like in the harassing manual and the hazing manual? Like, you're talking to Lucifer Star, me. Like I said, I didn't like to go around saying, "Hey, I'm Lucifer Star." It's like, yes, I am Lucifer Star, but anyway, I like to always go, "I'm little Lucifer." You know, because, you know, I usually like to understate it until people start fucking with me. It's like, I am Lucifer Star. Ah. Yeah, like that. Because it's like, you know what? I did nuke China. It was or Japan. It was a mistake. I admit that. But I was the one who actually gave the order. You know, and they were able to do it because of my aircraft carriers. Like I said, I killed, I don't know how many thousand people. It was a mistake. But I was the one who did that, and I have to live with that on my conscience for the rest of my life. I was the epically good person, and for a brief second, I was the worst person ever. So, and that's something I have to live with. So none of you can make that claim. And maybe they actually did it before I actually ordered it, and I just ordered it after they did it. But still, if I hadn't ordered it, it might not have happened. So therefore, anyway, the point though is that, anyway, like I said, if I hadn't given the Indians guns, they would have never had guns. They are still alive and not hunted into extinction, which they were being hunted into extinction, and they didn't have anything to defend themselves with. And because I gave them guns, it's possible that they went out and raped a bunch of women and scalped a bunch of white men and did much more and killed a couple thousand settlers. It's unknown exactly. There is more evidence, maybe, that it was actually the cavalry or somebody else that was actually killing those settlers, though, just blaming the Chumash or the Indians. So it's hard to say exactly. But basically, at some point in time, I gave them guns, just like I gave the Chinese guns. Just like I had the Russians or asked the Russians to help the Chinese. So, just like, you know, my decisions basically made the world what it is. And Rothschild can probably say the same thing. His decisions made the world what it is. What his great-grandmother did made the world what it is too. The Rothschilds have been an influential family. And at times they did do some psychotic acts where it's like they went through and killed every man in a town. Because they were doing blah blah or whatever. Like there are those epic people that were Rothschild or whatever. I forget the exact deal. I don't even know if it was Rothschild. It could have been one of the other families. There are 25 or 30 or a couple thousand influential families in this world that basically at times their choices influence my life as well as vice versa. You know, at times they may have even saved me and stopped me from dying. Anyway. And, oh, look, another stock word. I'm tired of this. Like, from someone who probably doesn't understand anything, or it's just being paid to talk shit. Like, I don't know which part of shut the fuck up they don't really get. Pisses me off. Unfortunately, I can't hire guards and live inside a nice palace, even though I own like 25 of them. But whatever, you know. Like I said, I'm a hero. No, but I am that person that made all those decisions. Like I said, I can't really get mad at Rothschild. I don't know how many times he silently helped me or silently kept me alive. I don't know how many times other people silently kept me alive. I know at times people were protecting me and I was protected. I know at times other aliens protected me and saved me. I mean, I know I've been nuked once or twice, and I know I actually died of some incurable disease, and my life form saved me. So how can I get too mad at them? How can I say, oh, how dare you, Rothschild? How dare you live the life of luxury? Like, he earned that money probably. We all made our choices. Like I say, we all made our choices. I made my choices that basically, I was basically like the big stack, like handing out cards. Indians get guns. And then those Indians make their choices. Rothschild or other people make their choices too. Anyway, and like I said, the Rothschilds weren't a bad family. They built a town, and they built 2 or 3 towns. They actually owned towns. There were people that owned towns, and they did quite a good job of organizing and running those towns. It was actually kind of nice that I didn't have to run every single fucking town on this whole planet. That there were other people that were guiding, leading, and people. And there were other people that were basically trying to do what I wanted them to do. So I can't really say, oh, how dare you. Basically all the cars were built. Everything was built. The aircraft were built. And at a point in time, like the aircrafts were being built cheaply and pathetic. And then other people moved and stopped it. America might not have become. But like I say, I did a couple other things. I stopped a war. I stopped wars. I changed people's lives. And like I said, a funny thing happened. So a lot of them became heroes. A lot of them, like I said, it wasn't a world of bad people. For a while there, it was a world of really good people, or a world of people that sometimes made bad decisions. That's why I gave them second chances. That's why they called me the person that gives second chances. Because, sometimes they would mess up and it's like, okay, well, you didn't know who I was. You don't know what I am. Now you do. Let's try this again. And a lot of times they would be like, all right, we won't do that again. So it's like, okay, cool. And they just try and be better. And it's like, well, if you just do it like this, you don't have to worry about that. Like, there's all kinds of drugs. There's all kinds of money. It's not really all that hard. And then, like I say, a lot of people are like, well, they don't want that bad stuff to happen to them either. So it's like, well, then you get good cops. And so even though Rothschilds or somebody else is actually paying the cops or whatever else like that, it's like, well, we have an understanding. Like I said, I had an understanding with quite a few Dons. One of those Dons got diabetes. And all of a sudden I had another supporter. His daughter actually, one of the daughters of one of the Dons, actually, her grandfather got diabetes, and she came to me or came to my group for help. And I was like, well, all right, we'll look into it. We'll see if we can do something. And I think I might have pulled something out. Like I might have used one of my little, like I said in the past, I had little, there, moments where it's like, oh, all right, but this is like a big deal. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know if I could actually help her. But there were certain people I was like, like that, where it's like, how the fuck did you do that? It's like, well, I do have other races at my beck and call, or at least I did. So basically, like, but I could only do it a couple times because eventually, because then other people know about it, and then sometimes, and sometimes it's like, and some people go, ah, it's like, oh fuck, well, there goes that group. Guess I don't got that anymore. Anyway, so I had to always be careful. It's like, okay, well, I can just let things go the way they are, or I can make a turn here. And if I make a turn here, well, then other people are like, ah, you work for him! It's like, oh, fuck. And then I just got people killed and, people, So, like, I had to be careful about that. So it's like, all right, status quo.